The tractor screeched like a wounded beast, jerking to a stop and nearly tossing me into the steering wheel. One moment, I was cruising the north row of my field, humming, sipping tepid coffee from my chipped thermos. The next, I was choking on dust, swearing at the sky, staring at orange fiber optic cable tangled in my undercarriage like demonic spaghetti. I hopped down, heart pounding. No utility flags, no notices, just my dirt until now. Who buried cable in my field without a word? I tugged at it. It wouldn't budge, sunk deep, professionally laid. A plastic tag dangled, marked with a serial number and an unfamiliar corporate logo. The cable snaked through my field like a neon serpent, hell-bent on wrecking my morning, my gear, and my sanity. I scrolled through county notices on my phone. Nothing. No permits, no emails, no letters. Fuming, I jogged to my barn office, pulling footage from security cameras installed after someone tried stealing my chicken coop. There it was, 3 days ago. 2 unmarked white trucks rolled in at dawn. Guys in reflective vests hopped out, like commandos, digging fast, no hesitation, no knock. They laid cable spools, buried them, and vanished. I called my friend, Carl, the kind of guy who keeps a bug-out bag and thinks sparrows are CIA drones. Useful, though. He showed up with a flashlight, folding chair, and beef jerky, sitting by the cable like it might spill secrets. Bet it's the NSA, he said, chewing. Or the HOA. I trust the feds more. I laughed then stopped. The HOA, Pine Valley, had grown bold, managing easements, trash, even the neighborhood Wi-Fi contract, creeping closer to my land, which sat just outside their grip. They hated my unregulated patch. Could they have done this? As if summoned, Susan, the HOA president, rolled up in a black SUV, clipboard in hand, fake smile plastered on. "Oh, good. You found the installation," she chirped, like I'd unwrapped a gift. "What installation?" I growled. "The one that trashed my tractor and trespassed on my land." "It's a community project," she said, flipping notes. "We voted to expand high-speed internet. For the greater good." "You voted." I blinked. "Susan, this is my field. You don't vote on my property." She waved me off. "You weren't using it. It's a field, not a spare lot." Her eyes narrowed. "Let's be reasonable. The line had to pass through to reach the road. We assumed you'd be fine." "I'm about to assume a lawsuit," I shot back. She smirked. "You'll find this was above board." Bluff. That night, my cousin Emily, a part-time land use attorney, dug into filings. She grinned. No permit, no right-of-way, no agreement. They went rogue. Better yet, the HOA partnered with an ISP, leasing access rights to my land like they owned it, pocketing monthly fees. They'd turn my field into their revenue stream, thinking I wouldn't notice. I smiled. Wicked. If they thought sneaking cable was a power move, I'd show them power. They gave me a fiber line. I'd lease it to their competitor. Next morning, coffee stronger, I saw the cable as leverage. Emily confirmed no permits were filed and unauthorized utility encroachment. I could remove it or monetize it. I emailed Susan, offering to resolve things peacefully, baiting her. She replied fast, smug, attaching an email thread with the ISP, detailing their deal, calling me reasonable. Mistake. Emily drafted a cease and desist while I marked the cable's path with yellow flags and signs. Private property. Unauthorized utility use will be prosecuted. Some had QR codes linking to a post with photos, footage, and Susan's smiling face at the installation. My phone buzzed. Jake, an old friend who'd moved back to start lightning fiber, saw my post. "You bulldozed a backdoor with your tractor," he laughed. His company couldn't break into HOA turf due to their exclusive ISP deal. "If I gave you legal access to my land, could you hook up the neighborhood with better speeds, lower prices?" "Hell yes," he said. "Deal." Emily drew up papers. Jake's crew laid parallel fiber legalizing my land fairly. They'd install a junction box to service Pine Valley, undercutting the HOA's ISP with triple the speed, half the price. Operation Steal the Signal was born. Susan sweated. Her next email was less smug, begging for a sit-down. Too late. Jake and I launched blue flyers. Better internet. No HOA markups. Neighbors called, thrilled, fed up with price hikes and spotty service. Passive-aggressive notes hit my mailbox. "Your actions affect the community." One said, "Traitor," in red marker. Susan or Carl messing with me. I doubled down. A week later, I caught Susan and two HOA board members snooping on my land. Birdwatching. I filmed. Private property. Trespassing's a crime. Sheriff, or next door. Susan turned red, muttering about lawyers. Bring it, I said. My attorney knows easements from your nonsense. The ISP's regional manager called, nervous, offering a revenue share. You're leasing from people who don't own it, I said. Lease from a higher rate or rip it out. He'd call back. I sipped whiskey, smiling. This field was mine, every rock, every blade, and now a battleground. The flyers cracked the HOA's grip. Neighbors waved them at meetings, demanding why kickbacks were hidden. Susan shut one down when asked for records. Jake's crew laid cable fast, their hub 10 feet from the HOA's illegal line. Neighbors switched by the dozen, getting free installs and emails exposing HOA overcharges. Then, sabotage. Signs toppled, dog poop on Jake's trailer, someone digging up our trench until my motion-activated sprinklers blasted a hooded figure. The viral clip lit up the neighborhood Facebook group. A board member, Tom, cracked, emailing me internal documents, minutes, ISP invoices, proof of tens of thousands in undisclosed profits. I built Susan Gate, the fiber fiasco website documents, photos, timelines. It exploded. Residents demanded refunds. Some wanted Susan gone. The next HOA meeting was a protest. Susan's gavel broke mid-shout. She stormed out to sarcastic applause. Two ISP suits visited my barn office. I poured bitter coffee. They feared a lawsuit or injunction killing service for hundreds. I offered, terminate the HOA contract, renegotiate with Mesquite Rate or lose the line. They agreed. I leased to both ISPs, earning more than Hay ever made. Jake offered an advisory role. I'd be fiber mogul. Susan unraveled filing noise complaints, claiming my junction box clashed with aesthetics, even accusing me of an illegal data center. I posted a barn tour, routers by chicken feed. Memes erupted, one photoshopping Susan as a Wi-Fi chasing inquisitor. I hosted a field open house, snacks, lemonade, Jake's internet talk. Families came, kids waving lightning fiber versus HOA flags. A guy wore a plow the system shirt. Susan sued, claiming my field was common access land. Emily laughed, countersuing with a violation stack, trespassing, fraud, tax evasion. In court, her evidence footage, emails, maps was bulletproof. The judge dismissed the HOA's claims, granted mine, ordering damages and fines. The HOA's ISP contract voided, their revenue gone. Susan's face at restitution was priceless. Post-ruling, Susan claimed the hub was a health hazard, scaring birds and dogs. The county inspector laughed, seeing my permits. Her emergency HOA meeting flopped. Tom resigned. Residents shouted questions. A vote ousted her unanimously. A new board formed. Tom as treasurer, Jeff handling comms, me advising, demanding public votes on infrastructure. Jake proposed a solar-powered microstation, making my field a regional internet hub. I got equity, revenue, a board seat. Susan moved. Her house sold to a couple with lawn gnomes, and a cable crisis avoided Wi-Fi name. At the microstation's launch, neighbors gathered chairs, coolers, kids calling it Freedom Tower. Jeff grilled burgers. Jake showed the sprinkler clip. I spoke. It started with a busted tractor, strangers digging my land, assuming I'd comply. It wasn't about cable, it was about principle. They took without asking, profited off my dirt. We fought with unity, stubbornness, and a tractor. Hands shook, stories shared. An old woman said she finally felt heard. The field hummed, no more trenches, just my rules and buried lightning. Karen's cable rots, a sharp-drawn sign marking her ego's grave. I'm the cable cowboy, and this dirt is mine.